sorry to interrupt your hair chat, boys.
Did you hear our little hair chat?
You were like super deep on the bandana, hair length, awkward phase. I was loving that, like a fly on the wall, just kicking.
Should I put the bandana on?
I'm just getting advice from the best on how I'm gonna cope with this as it grows out through this period.
Yeah, I understand, but it looks great. I love a shag. It's sexy.
It's gonna look like we can't afford haircuts anymore, you know.
But at least you boys are still young enough, and myself included, to not have grey hair. A lot of my friends who have been bullshitting.
Hey, listen to this. Listen to this. Have you not? I'm gonna show you a post that I did.
I was wondering what the hell you were going to show us then. Grey hair I found.
I was, before this all happened, I went with my girlfriend to Benihana, and I haven't been there in like years.
Yeah.
And I love that place. It's, you know, it's the food, and you know, you've been to Benihana. And I'm all there sitting there, and then my girlfriend goes, "Hold on a second," and I'm like, "What?" So she finds a gray hair in my beard. And I was like, "Oh my God, this is it. Like, I'm starting to go, it's just downhill." And then I posted, let me see if I can find it. I put like this whole message on Instagram, like it's with like deep sorrow, like I know. And everyone thought like, and then I was like, swipe right. And there was like a piece of gray. So everyone thought like I was dying or something. It was like the worst, like craziest. It was the funniest, but also kind of awful for me to do it because people thought like my dog died or something.
But a grey beard is fine because that's like, you know, George Clooney sexy. It's when you get grey
wisdom level, grey beards.
Yeah, but imagine if I don't age like George Clooney. You know, it's gonna be a huge disappointment.
No,
you know,
you're
like,
fine.
Like grey beard hair your whole life.
Oh, here it is. Today I bring you with some very sad news. Something I did not expect so soon to happen, but I thought the sooner I share with you guys, the better. And here's a picture of it.
Can I just say,
white? That is like grey as F as well. Like that's great. That's silver. You silver fox.
Silver. Look at that.
Wow. And also the contrast against the black.
Sure, it wasn't a stray bit of rice, or like, you know, you were in Benihana. It could have been like a little stray bit of rice, or.
True.
Yeah. What's weird, like no, you know what I actually did? I took a tweezer and pretended it never happened, and that's, you know.
But they said that if you tweet it out, 10 come to its funeral though, and then more come if you get rid of the grey.
Ooh.
That's what I heard.
Oh, you've pulled down the thunder.
Just
we're going to be talking to Gandalf next week.
Right. It's fine though.
Grey.
As long as your pubes aren't grey, I think once your pubes go grey, that's when you know there's no coming back. Because no one's dyeing their pubes unless, I don't know, maybe DJs do. I'm not sure.
We can hope for these technologies.
Yeah.
There might be some.
Or is it called a merkin? Is that what they call the wig for your pubes?
Oh, what?
A merkin.
This is news to me. I'm gonna have to have a good Google later, and Google's gonna
Google merkin, but then hide your Google search history because someone will find that and be like, Liam Payne googling.
I'll be like, have you got a weird problem?
So where are you both right now, Alesso? Where are you in the world?
Los Angeles.
You're in LA, and Liam, where are you?
I'm in London.
Oh, heaven, and I'm in
like on a game show. Like, I'm like, London.
Between the three of us, I feel like we're covering three of the coolest cities on earth, which is just classic us. So lucky.
Definitely.
Alesso, this must be like heaven for you because I feel like all producers want everyone to fuck off and just let them be in their studio so they can work, and you're forced to live like that right now.
I mean, some days I'm like, I'm gonna take the time to be as productive as possible, and then some days I'm like, maybe I should just chill for once. You know?
Yeah.
Going like back and forth. I think it would, for me, this is just my point of view, it would be stupid not to take this time to be extra productive because you know, I think if you can strive for something positive come out of it, you should always like try to go for that. But then, you know, I do really enjoy just like playing video games, and like kind of thankful that I have a nice setup here, you know, that I don't really need to go out, you know, in order to entertain myself. but you know, it goes days by days. You know, it's like I said, some days I'm more productive, some days I'm just like, I'm just gonna watch Liam get tortured on YouTube.
Whoa! Please explain, Liam.
I did a Hot Ones interview a while back, and Alesso recently found it, and then I explained to Alesso that I was like hilariously drunk through the whole thing, and he's rewatched it again now, knowing that I was drunk.
But it's the show.
I was proud of myself that day because I don't do spicy food. I never go down those roads.
Yeah.
And it was extra spicy, and I went.
But
for it.
What's hilarious is that he was like, at the end, he was like, "Oh, this, I could barely taste this." I think he was just. I was like, "What the hell is he doing?" And then he ate it again, and then he was like dying. and then
I took so far within the piece that I was like, if this is the hottest thing, and the guy was called like Sergeant Bob or Smokey Joe or whatever the guy's name was who made the sauce, I was like, I want to know what Smokey Joe's bringing to the table, and I did not taste that, so I went in again. But this was like a late burner, like it came on late, and then as soon as it got me, like it got me, like, so I was floored.
Did it hurt when you bought, how do I say this nicely, on the other side of the digestive process?
You know what? I feel like I was so drunk after I got home from that, I just passed out. I don't, there's not much memory or recollection. Like, I watched it back the other day myself as well, because I'd seen Gordon Ramsay do it, and I was like, I don't remember going through that much pain while I was doing it, because he seemed like he went through like a gauntlet of like different concoctions to try and overtake the spice, whereas I just took the spice, we just went for it. And yeah, I don't remember very much. The story goes that I think I was out with Sam Smith the night before. I was with Sam Smith and a bunch of his friends till like, I don't even know what time. I think I went straight to the Hot Ones from there. And then it was like, your first thing today is eating freaking hot. So that was me for the day.
All right. I didn't read my press sheet for today, but bring it on. Unless, I imagine you'd have stories like that when, I mean, I don't know what it's like now. A lot of DJs and producers are on the green juices when they're working and they don't drink. But I imagine at least in your younger days, you've had some situations where you've partied hard and then had to work and been like, oh, crap.
Oh my God, every weekend. Especially like, yeah, but I mean, I think my hangovers, when I turned, it was like on a clock. When I turned 25, it was just, my hangovers was just like unbearable. It was like for 2 days, I didn't function, you know, and so that was really like, since then I've been kind of, I'm selective. I pick my battles, you know, like, okay, if I know I have a lot of things, you know, might not be as a fun night, but I'll just, you know, power through. I'm a sucker for Vegas though. Like, even if I have things to do the next day in Vegas, I always cave. It's something like, not that city, like always. But yeah, I've definitely showed up and in the same kind of state like Liam in that
Every
interview.
time I've ever left Vegas, I've been crying. Like, I remember the last time we were driving out and we were going to Yosemite to this sick Airbnb, and we all were in silence and I was driving. There was 4 of us in the car and we're all just like silently weeping, just empty shells of humans. Like, why the hell do we do this?
This is starting to sound a lot like Alcoholics Anonymous at this point. It's just like we've got some weird like online Alcoholics Anonymous group going on.
We should talk about the single then, because it's so good. Liam, honestly, this is the best I've ever heard your vocal. Like, we know you're a great singer, but your vocals in this are incredible. When that chorus hit, especially, I was with Elle, who's the universal rep here. I was like, damn, he sounds good. So well done, mate.
That's very kind of you. That makes me feel very good in my house by myself with no one to appreciate me right now.
We're recording this, so it'll end up going on the internet so everyone can hear it. What do you think it was about this thing that was the magical situation for you to shine like that?
I mean, it's a great song, and I feel like the song itself is really difficult to sing. So I felt like Alesso was kind of pushing me through it. So, because we had a discussion about dropping the key of the song at one point, because it's really, really high to get up there for a long period of time. And I find that, like, at a certain point, this chorus becomes like vocal acrobatics, because you're staying in the moment, and it's like, grab your balls and hold on and hope for the best sort of scenario. But it came out great, and that's all thanks to, you know, the man on my left here in that chair who made it sound great. So, you know, great song, and this is all the reason I wanted to jump on it. You know, obviously I've heard a lot of Alesso's records, and you know, I knew how great he was, but we had such a great time in the room in Sweden, and yeah, it's just turned out perfect, really.
So you guys actually got to be together physically when you made it, which is kind of rare these days and kind of wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. He came on a 5 a.m. flight, which was very, very. That's when I knew, I'm like, he must really like the song if he was on the flight. And then he came, and then I was like, oh my God, it's Liam from One Direction. And then we did the song.
You came to sign your poster?
Yeah.
I saw his gray hair.
No, but I definitely like I didn't tell anyone that it was coming, obviously, because like I have, you know, my sister is a huge fan of him too and stuff like that, so I was like lucky. But I mean, it was awesome, and it went really well. I think that those are the kind of moments you really enjoy being in a studio with someone. We didn't like change the record. We just polished it a little bit because you know, he already knew how to, you know, perform the song and stuff like that. But it was really like what you wanted from a studio session. Really. Like it just turned out the way you wanted it. Both were having fun. Like those are like awesome. You live for those moments, you know, when you just make music and it turns out great. You know?
Well, you can tell, listening back to it, you can absolutely tell. We love the track. We played it as soon as we heard it, and we're so happy that you guys got to make it happen before isolation. I mean, you still managed a video in isolation, which I think is very, very impressive. But I got to let you go because I'm over time and I don't want to get into someone else's. And by the way, I'm moving house, which is why my background is so shitty. I don't usually have a bed and boxes behind me.
Oh, nice. Well, have a good move. I hope that goes well.
So do I. If my husband and I stay married by the end of it, moving in isolation, then I think it's a win. But boys, thank you so much for making time to chat with us today. Sending our love from Australia, and please come visit us when all this craziness is over. We miss you both.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye.